In today's video, the lesson that we're dealing with is Nissim Ezekiel's The Railway Clerk. Nissim Ezekiel is one of the most visible and esteemed poetic voice in Indian English in the 20th century, mainly because of his meditative characteristics and pointed interrogations of selected conditions of the contemporary culture. His poems greatly emphasize on the theme of self-evaluation, like the Knight of the Scorpion, dealing with the issues of community and superstition. This poem, The Railway Clerk, is associated with the confession of a helpless lower middle class Indian who works as a railway clerk. Through this poem, Nissim Ezekiel satirically portrays and exposes the illegal activities like bribery that goes on among certain officials and the pathetic condition of workplace in the government sector. So in The Railway Clerk, we are dealing with the helplessness and struggles of an honest railway clerk. Critical attention has often been focused on his control over language. The writing and composing of his poems are done in an Indianness. Now, how do we explain this? He writes according to the word arrangements and grammar as used by the typical middle-class Indians in their sentences. You will see as I read out the poem. The poem goes, "The railway clerk, it isn't my fault, I do what I'm told, but still I'm blamed. This year, my leave application was twice refused. Every day there is so much work, and I don't get overtime. My wife is always asking for more money. Money, where to get money? My job is such, no one is giving bribe, while other clerks are in fortunate position and no promotion even, because I am not graduate. I wish I was bird. I am never neglecting my responsibility. I am discharging it properly. I am doing my duty, but who is appreciating? Nobody, I am telling you. My desk is too small. The fan is not repaired for 2 months, 3 months. I am living off in Borivli. My children are neglecting studies. How long this can go? Once a week I see film, and then I am happy, but not otherwise. Also, I have good friends. That is only consolation. Sometimes we are meeting here or there and having long chat. We are discussing country problems. Some are thinking of foreign. But due to circumstances, I cannot think. My wife's mother is confined to bed and I am only support. So as you see there, even the text has an Indianness attached to it, showing perfectly that the speaker obviously was a typical undergraduate, lower middle class Indian railway clerk. Taken from the collection of poems, Hymns in Darkness, this poem, The Railway Clerk by Nissim Ezekiel, is a monologue where the speaker reveals the life of an honest railway clerk. It is a satirical poem with a touch of pathos. Satirical means mocking, pathos means arousing the emotion of pity for the railway clerk. We feel pathos, pity here towards the railway clerk. The poem begins with the railway clerk expressing his grievances, saying, when something goes wrong, people blame him, though it isn't his fault. He only discharges his duty and he does whatever he's told to do and has no authority over the issues. He complains that year his leave application was rejected twice because there was too much work and he had to work overtime. So his leave was not granted. He goes on to say that there was so much work that he has to go and work overtime, but he does not get paid for working overtime. While on the other hand, his wife keeps demanding for more money. The frustrated railway clerk says that money, where to get money? Where do I get money? My wife keeps asking money, but where do I get extra money? I'm not in a position where I could get bribe. There are other officials, of course, in that department, in the railway department. There are other clerks who are in such a position that they get bribes from people. But he was stuck in such a post, in such a position that he does not even get bribe. Thus, Nissim Ezekiel satirically says that people who receive bribes are in a fortunate position, and a person like him who has to honestly work and get no bribe is considered unfortunate. So in this way, Nissim Ezekiel satirically portrays the illegal activities of bribery going on in the railway department. To add to his frustration, he would not be getting any promotion. He does not have any prospect of promotion because he was not graduate. A bird has always been a symbol of freedom, and the speaker wishes to be a bird and be free like a bird, free from responsibilities and workloads, and just being free from being a human being. He speaks of how he never neglects his responsibilities and how he discharges his duty in the best way he could. But no one appreciates his work. He also complains that his workplace was at a tiny desk in which the fan was not working and had not been repaired. It was not working and it had not been repaired for 2 or 3 months. His home, his family was far off in Borivli, and he had to stay out of his home all the time because of work. And since he was not home, the father was not at home, so the children were neglecting their studies. He is worried about his children's future, he's worried about his family's welfare, and he questions how long can this go on. There are times when he used to go and watch movies. He went to watch a movie once a week with his friends, probably in a cinema hall, and that was the only moment of happiness in his life. Apart from watching movies, he also had good friends with whom who were the only consolation in his disappointed life. They meet up and talk for hours, and they talk about national issues. Some even think about foreign issues, and some even think about going abroad. But he could not because of his circumstances, because of his financial condition, because of his personal problems. His wife's mother, his mother-in-law, was sick and bedridden, and he was the only financial support. He was the only support system in his family. So this poem is the discontentment and unhappiness of an Indian railway clerk who was an honest family man and belonged to the lower middle-class family of India. That was a short explanation of Nissim Ezekiel's The Railway Clerk, and thank you for suggesting this video. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.